Hey guys, I'm Jess, the executive producer of Project Loki. In this video, I'll cover some of the biggest changes coming in our upcoming playtest and talk about our thinking behind them. If you haven't joined our community yet, we send out new keys every month and you can sign up on our website. Okay, first topic is about the playtest itself. A lot of you have been asking for more time gaming, so we're going to be adding an extra day to this playtest on Saturday. We polled Discord for a good playtest time and settled on 12 to 3 p.m. Pacific time, so I hope you'll enjoy your extra day of Loki. More broadly, we do want to try longer playtests or ones in other regions, but we're still in pre-alpha, so I hope you'll give us some time. Okay, onto the patch itself. A big focus of ours in these recent patches has been about movement. If you've been with us for a long time, you'll actually remember that Loki was once much slower and less free than it is now. In fact, we were much closer to a traditional MOBA style of movement, which felt more rules-based and two-dimensional. So dashes and knockbacks went very specific distances, there was no jumping, and you very rarely combined movement abilities in dynamic ways. This made for a very predictable combat model, but it also felt a little flat. So last year we decided to lean into physics-based gameplay with things like jumping, displacement abilities, and momentum, and we haven't looked back. Ultimately, we want Loki to feel closer to an action shooter than a MOBA, with all of this sweet movement that great action shooters have. This also means we need to build a new kind of movement system from scratch. This patch marks the culmination of a bunch of small movement improvements that we think add up to feel pretty significant. First, we've overhauled our dash system, with a bunch of under-the-hood technical improvements. Before, would there be cases where you'd come to a dead stop while clipping certain obstacles like trees while dashing. Now you'll glance off and maintain your momentum. This has been on our radar for some time, and internally we were hyped as hell when this change was implemented. Pretty happy about that. Next, using your glider now takes into account your current player momentum. This means you can dash before gliding to take off much quicker and fly further. A lot of you guys requested this, so here we go. Last, we've made some adjustments to grind rails, allowing you to speed up and slow down based on which way you're facing as you grind. I hope all of you know you can also hold space while on grind rail to get the movement really going. The fun thing about movement systems is that all of these pieces really build off of each other, so combining them together can lead to a lot of fun scenarios. We're not finished yet, but would love to hear your reactions to any of these changes. Okay, I have some updates for heroes and environments, but I'll just open up with some context around how we develop these things. First, we start with gameplay to make sure it's something that we want to commit to before we think about making them pretty. In this phase, you'll usually see things like gray box environments or recolored models of heroes to act like placeholders so we can iterate fast. After we get some confidence, we move both heroes and environment to blockout phase, where we take our concept art and start working on our first modeling pass for fields and thematics. And after that, once we got things dialed in, we enter a production phase to polish things up, add textures, VFX, and all the juicy details. Most things in the game are currently at a blockout phase while we're in pre-alpha, but we have a plan to get it all moving once things are locked in. That's a lot of context, but getting tactical for this playtest, you'll get to see a few new hero blockouts, and we'll have 3 new areas moving into blockout this month: Lava Steps, Complex, and the Grove. Very cool. Finally, I want to thank all the players who joined our small group playtest a couple of weeks ago. We run these every now and then when we're getting targeted feedback on large experimental changes, mainly to decide whether or not we want to keep exploring that space. Usually the changes in these small playtests are much more temp and much spicier than our normal playtests, so we appreciate everyone who took the time to play. You will see some of these changes in this month's playtest, like level gating gliders at a later unlock rather than right off the bat. We're really excited about this change because it adds a lot of texture to the early game that didn't really exist before, as well as just making you really think about where you're going to drop first. If feedback looks good here, we also recognize there's a lot more work to integrate this, like better ceremony around acquiring your glider, whether you have it or not, rethinking some level design to account for early game, making sure ledge grabbing is an intuitive and consistent mechanic, that kind of stuff. All this to say, remember you don't have a glider before you yeet yourself into the void. All right. Lots more changes I won't get into here, so check out the full patch notes on Discord. We're also still testing out the format of this video, so if you have any suggestions or topics you'd like to see, let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the playtest. Bye.